Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Manila for today's May Day Daily Challenge. We will have double bridges and the speed limit on them will be decreased, which is a shame. I guess if they come so cheap, they must be made out of poor structural quality material, and we can't go too fast on them lest they break. Sure, that works. That's good in-universe justification for the random challenges of the daily. Sure, let's go with that. It'll be fine. Oh, good morning and happy birthday to Hulkamat. Hulkamat was here first. Hulkamat resubscribed at Tier 1 for 55 months in a row. Happy birthday, Hulkamat. Oh, it is a good and glorious day, my friends. It is also, I should say, a sad day. Today, we mourn the loss of the particular countdown timer widget that I've been using on my stream for several years. Rest in peace, the particular countdown timer widget that I've been using on stream for several years. It's from HerokuApp.com. It's their marathon timer. I say there. It's entirely possible that this was just one dude, just one folk, one individual folk. Went to load up the stream this morning, get the timer going and all of that, and the URL for the website now returns a message that says, and I quote, "It's been a good 8 years, but due to continued costs of running this app, changes to the Twitch API, and lack of time for me to maintain an update, I have made the decision to shut down this app." A sad thing. This program that, on the one hand, I have relied on so very much. On the other hand, I have no idea the name of the fucker who made it, and I've paid $0 for it. So, I suppose I only deserve to be so sad about this. I, in some way, contributed by not contributing. It is sad. And we go on. Somehow. Rest in peace. The Heroku app marathon timer. You were good. I remember when we were looking for a new one of you, we found a bunch that sucked. And you were good. And now you are dead. So hopefully there are some that don't suck. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's take... I've already got 2 traffic lights. Let's take 30 road tiles. That'll probably set us up good on road tiles for the rest of the run. And again, I'll say, We've got a situation. You know that whole double bridge thing we were promised? Yeah, we don't actually have those yet. So, what we're gonna have to do is probably something like this. We're gonna put these 2 reds to work on this yellow road, and we're just gonna... Man, if we do this, can I do that? Can I do like that with the benefit of a potentially perfectly cromulent traffic light? It's far from cromulent, honestly, but it is a traffic light. Yeah, okay. We'll do this. The yellow houses for now will spawn over here in your little yellow cluster. These 4 will share a road. It'll be, certainly not fine, but if I had a roundabout, I'd just go up here and do a big old circle thing, but we don't, so we can't. So, well, eventually we'll get bridges again. And once we have bridges again, we'll swing these reds up around here and straight shot bridge them over that way. That'll be fun. Good morning, P to S. It is 84 degrees Fahrenheit where Peter is. That is, well, I suppose it is the middle of the day there, so it might just be a nice warm day, honestly. It's a little disconcerting to be 84 degrees in, the late morning on May Day, but, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not like the planet's getting warmer or anything. It's not like that's going to have long-term negative consequences for us as a species or other species, or us as a species as a result of the negative consequences for the other species. Nah, it'll just be fine. It'll just be fine. It'll be warm. It'll be nice. We'll all live in Baja. Except the people in Baja. They'll live in Super Baja. I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's take a motorway. Honestly, that should probably, at some point, that's going to be the conservative response to climate change. Is wait, it's good actually. We all live in Baja, except the people who live in Baja, they live in Super Baja. They'll probably get a generation or so out of that. I mean, listen, they've gotten a good 2 generations out of denying the obvious fact of what's happening, so maybe they'll just keep doing that. If it ain't broke, please put aside the fact that it's broke, but, for their purposes, it ain't broke. Listen, it's become patently obvious now that the plan for those in power is to remain in power, and when shit hits the fan, well, they'll be dead by then. So, if you can't... Again, I don't know quite where I'm going with this, but, oh boy. Peter S. does have a lot of Goog bucks. Oh, rip the monetization of this video. Also, it's not really a factor, which is why I still have the reward, so don't feel bad. Oh, goodness. I should probably pause the Spotify while this is playing, shouldn't I? That might have been cacophonous. Hey! Oh, Peter, are you saying you wouldn't have played the silly Benny Hill song if you had known that I was going to take a random pot shot at the people with money who are ruining the world? Listen, buddy. It's May Day. I know that any day is a good day to take pot shots at the people with money who are ruining the world, but especially on May Day, you are ethically demanded to take pot shots at the people with money who are running the world. Oh, God. You didn't know... Oh, you just saw a thing and were like, hey, I'm gonna hit this button and find out what it does. Well, that's what that button does. So, I suppose for those who don't know, because listen, one of the joys and wonders of having a multicultural international audience is that people just don't know shit sometimes. I say that with love, actually. Hold on, where was I going? Right, here's what we're going to do. I'll talk about Benny Hill in a second. So the new plan is we're going to take these reds off of this bridge. These reds off of this bridge are going to go over this way. These reds from over to here are going to go straight shot up to there. These yellows from here, these 2 yellows from here, are going to come this way down that way. This is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. It's going to be just fine. Good morning, Clancy the Crow. Clancy is here with us. Let's see. This blue guy over here is just a dude and fucker. So, if we do this and that, and then we, draw the road straight, because that's what you're supposed to do. All of a sudden, everybody's together, everything's fine. This yellow circle, which by the way went circular at some point when we were barely paying attention. I think it was when there was silly British music playing. This went circular. So now these 2 yellows come down here and support this. These 4 yellows take care of that. These 4 blues, thank you for being 4 blues, you 4 blues. You coming down over to here. Good afternoon, sun, flare, space. Okay, so, back in the day, I think this was originally like a 60s or 70s thing, but back in the day, there was a British sketch comedy show called The Benny Hill Show, or something like that. And Benny Hill was, would you believe it, a British sketch comedian. And it was good and it was successful and it was funny. It was one of the longest reigning shows in all of British television history, by which I mean it did like 25 episodes or something. So there were 25 episodes of this British sketch comedy show, and the theme song from this highly successful British sketch comedy show was the song called Yakety Sax, which was the song that we just heard played on stream. And over time, over the last generation or 6, the theme song to the Benny Hill Show has been used and conflated with anytime there's wacky madcap nonsense going on. People would just pipe in the theme from the Benny Hill song, and that song became associated again with wacky madcap nonsense. And now, for the low price of how much did I charge that? Like 25,000, right? For 20,000 Goog bucks. Listen, this is an investment. I'm not gonna lie to you, friend. This is not for the streamy come latelys or anything. If you put in the time and the work and the effort and the grind of watching the stream for a while, you'll get 20,000 Goog bucks, and then you can use those Goog bucks to play this highly copyrighted piece of music at pretty much any point you want, which, you know, will hopefully eventually become a problem. Like, listen. Also, oh hey, we do have a bridge, so we're gonna do this. We're going to use a bridge for one and exactly one road tile, which I hate, but needs to be done. So yes, at some point, if we're lucky, it will become an actual, like, existential threat to the channel that we have channel point rewards that play just highly copyrighted pieces of music, and then we're going to have a talk. But, you know, one of the joys and pleasures of being so very tiny on the internet is you don't have to worry about that shit. I don't have to worry about that shit. I should worry about that shit. It's like, you know, good, it would probably show, like, good brandability and all of that if I did worry about that shit. But, you know, I also said the word shit 8 times in the last 4 seconds, so we only try so hard here, I suppose. Man, this little motorway number 1 desperately wants to not exist. Actually, hold on. Wait. Goog. Think this through, buddy. We've got 4 red houses over here who are using a bridge to go 1,000,000 miles, and 3 blue houses over here who are using a motorway to go about 12 feet. Maybe, perhaps, we could do something better. I think maybe perhaps, just hypothetically, hear me out now, let me cook. Rest in peace to the phrase, let me cook. You were cool for a while, and then you became so popularly used that people like the Goog started thinking it was okay for them to say it. Rest in peace to the phrase, let me cook. I think maybe we can just, like, take this bridge away. And I think this car right here will be the last car to use that bridge. And once that bridge is gone, we'll be able to re-bridge these over here. These dark blues. Yep. We can bridge them up that way. And now these dark blues can go up there, and everything will be fine skis. Yay! Alright. Next. Someone at the distribution center with which Sunflower Space's work is associated fucked up and sent 14 boxes of 11. See, this is the thing about Europeans. We're not certain yet, Sonny. Sunflower Space. No judgment either way, purely for educational and clarificational purposes. Are we talking about footwear or underwear? But either way, okay. So someone sent 11 boxes. 14 boxes of 11 thongs, which means you have 154 thongs, which is, sure there are personal collections that rival that, but you could have a thong-a-thon. Come on now. This is a marketing opportunity that writes itself. You just have a summer event. It's bikini season. This is perfect. It's Thong-a-thon. Come on. Also, Thong-a-thon is absolutely the title of the episode. Now, the real question is Thong-a-thon one word or is it one word with 2 hyphens? And I think it's one word with 2 hyphens. I think it's thong-a-thong. I think that's funnier. All right, let's take, I suppose we should take 2 bridges. That roundabout is awful tempting because, roundabout. But we should probably be, reasonable. God. who wants to be reasonable, honestly? Let's see here. So we do have a bit of a problem with, the general position of things and such. I think what we're going to do is we're going to say, this store is the equivalent of people going, ew, you buy your clothes at Walmart? Hey now, Walmart could have a Walmart probably shouldn't have a Thong-a-thon. I'm sorry. No, actually, listen. You could still do Thong-a-thon. You could still do, it might not be the best idea, but you could still do Thong-a-thon. Absolutely. I don't know if that's actually a good idea. It might not be, come to think of it. But, it'd be funny. Think of the humor jokes. All right. So what we're doing, by the way, is we're figuring out ways to restructure this road. These light blues are going to come down here, swoop over that away, left turn down this way to get into this business, or go over that away. Meanwhile, these dark blues have been extricated from the network and are just going to take motorway number 2 straight over way there. Thong-a-thon is not the right idea for this demographic. Listen, Sonny, does young people's money spend? You say bad idea for this demographic. I say new demographic. I mean, come on. Listen. If the hip happening youngsters of today heard that Sears and Roebuck was doing a Thong-a-thon, that store would be back on the map. Presumably. Maybe. You lack vision. You mostly get parents and the elderly now. Doesn't need to always be the case. Come on. Alright, so we're gonna rob this dark blue from over here, and we're gonna do this. Hey, you remember that whole big traffic light situation I put in there? Yeah, it existed for about 45 seconds. So, it was a good 45 seconds, though. It was a really solid 45 seconds. We traversed like 6 dudes or something. Oh my god! Oh my god! Sonny, you don't have that kind of power yet. You have not yet angled for the promotion. You have not demonstrated the value and utility of your marketing expertise. I bet you if you march right in there with, hand-drawn concepts of signage. Now I'm telling Sonny to do work, and the bit may have gone too far, but damn it, we're committed. You march right in there with hand-drawn concepts of signs advertising Thong-a-thon 2025. Actually, fuck all of this. Just make a music festival. That's the easy thing. Just make a music festival. This is literally your 6th day. Brilliant. They can just assume that you're some marketing genius who does this all the time. I still, amazingly, see no flaws with this plan. All right. So this red goes up here. Oh, by the way, congrats on the new job, Sonny. I didn't even know it was a new job. Congrats. What are we doing about this? I don't think we can just let it sit there and rot for a week. It'd probably be a bad idea. It might, rot. Friends. Okay. Let's do this. This is a terrible idea, but we're doing it. Behold, my terrible idea. We're gonna take these dark blues, run them up. We might just leave this yellow by the metaphorical wayside. Yeah, we're gonna leave this yellow friend off to rot, I think. So this yellow friend is just gonna go off and rot. Unfortunate. You are gonna get a traffic light over there. This is actually gonna be fine. All of this will be 100% Hundo PA okay going on here. Okay. So everybody get yourself to somewhere in the Netherlands for Thong-a-thon. Just occurred to me that the branding might have different implications if it's European. Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's Thong-a-thon 2025, somewhere in the Netherlands. Get yourself some thongs, please, for the love of God. Due to a ship. Oh my God! Wait, Sunflare Space. You're Al Harrington. due to a shipping error, you are currently overstocked on skimpy, frilly, sexy undergarments. And you can pass the savings on to you. It's a Family Guy reference I was making. It might not be hitting with my particular demographic. Anyway. Skimpy, lacy, frilly undergarments. Yeah, wacky, waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube men, except in thongs. That's how you market this. That's how we do this. This is Thong-a-thon. We can do this. All right. So, let's do this. Hold on. We're going to take these reds, run them over here, and do that. That will free up this little corridor here. Having freed up this little corridor here, we're going to drive these greenhouses over that away, and then murderate this bridge. Having murderated this bridge, by the way, more greens for this because it's dying because it was neglected for a while. Having murderated that bridge, we will now unmurderate the bridge. You come down over to here. Cool. All right. More yellows spawn here. Great. More reds spawn here. Okay. Listen, have another red house, or 6, actually. Oh, you've gone circular now? I hate you. I hate you. Let's do this real quick. We're going to take these reds off of this network. We're going to swoop motorway number 1 down that away. And now we'll take these reds, swing them up here. Cool. The 5 of you go off that away. The 2 of you don't do nothing. The 5 of you, motorway number 1 over here. Everybody's great and happy. Everybody's great and happy. No? Maybe? Possibly? Okay, good. Next, this blue circle way over here is 1, a circle, and 2, way over here. Both of those are problems. So, let's solve some problems. We're going to chop all of this road, all of this very long and bridge-having road off of here. Yep. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of all of that. And we're going to have this pile of blue right here. This pile of blue right here. I'm going to buy a steer. I don't know. I don't have my religious rhyming scheme down today. It'll be fine. So yeah, the 5 of you will now take motorway number 3 straight-shottedly into this blue circle and hopefully sustain that for longer than, a minute. Would be nice. This, actually, you know what? You spawn the long way, buddy. You're still going to be closer than any of these. You're still going to... Hey, you remember the 8 seconds in which you were attached to that business? Those were 8 good seconds, weren't they, friend? Yeah, now you're supporting this. Christ. All right. It's fine. Did I finish telling the reason of the... Oh, right. Yeah, we said, sketch comedy show and highly copyrighted piece of music. And if we ever achieve actual meaningful success, we might have to, consider not blatantly stealing people's intellectual property, by which I mean playing their silly music. It's one of those things that we probably should do, but also sounds like work. Let's take 2 traffic lights, because we've actually used traffic lights on this run. The hell are we doing here? Hold on. We're properly deploying and reasonably using traffic lights? In Gimmimimim? That doesn't sound right. That sounds sketchy at best. Speaking of sketchy at best, this business here is gonna die. This business here really can't stand only having 1 house of support. You see the pips piling up. They're, the pips be piling. So, should probably do something about that. Also, this red circle is a circle, and yet presently has 2 houses of support. That, my friends, is a problem. So, maybe Auto should do something about that, too. Well, I do have an idea for something to do about that. Nobody's gonna like it, to be clear. This a bad plan. This a negative plan, but, So the plan is we put a traffic light right here, right? And the traffic light here allows houses from these houses, cars from these houses even, cars from these houses, come up here, take a left turn, go through the yellow neighborhood, bring themselves over this way. And listen, that's kinda sorta all well and good. The real trouble comes in right here with this car, which is now a car from a red house down here that has decided that its solemn sworn duty is to come up and support this business, which, yeah, it's not gonna end well for anyone, really. But, you know, details and problems and things. Details, problems, and things. Hey, you know what? What if we had, well, I was going to do a dumb thing. I might need to do a dumb thing still. Alright, I think we need to do a dumb thing. Actually, this road is still going to exist. The dumb thing that we're going to do is we're just going to do this. And now these two houses and these three houses have the option of going into this double plaza or going around it and up to here in order to salvage and support this thing. I don't like that, and if I had all the motorways in the world, I would motorwise this. Actually, especially now that there are like 4 of these, I would definitely motorwise that, but, you know. Alright, let's take a couple more bridges and reassess our bridgeuation here. Well, shit's bad. Good talk. Okay. Well, if shit's bad, we should fix it. Seems like a good idea. Hey, what if? And this might be another bad idea. What if we just did this? Would it be faster and better for the Reds if we just did that? We would kind of have a couple different, Well, we do add more red houses to the nightmare, which certainly counts as something. I don't know if it counts as a good something, but it certainly counts as something. Also, hey, you know what? Hold on. Wait. Hold every phone. We got this business here. Well, alright, this plan is not optimal because it does involve a very long bridge trip and something slow bridges. But if we just, you know, bridge up that way and unjoop like so. Can you 3 red houses support this business even with your 8-mile long bridge? Oh, your bridge really is 8 miles long, isn't it? Well, it was almost a good idea. And then it was not a good idea, so 1,507 over 79 days. It's top 25% in the world, but it's not, it's not quite as good as what was put up by Samurai Sam. So, okay, I understand. I appreciate that. Here, let's bring in our very good friend the Wordle. Hello, the Wordle. Sad. Oh, sad. Alright, it's not shale, although it theoretically could have been in the moment. It's not peach, because that has an H and the third letter's E, or A, so all the more reason it can't be. It can't be eagle, but it could be realm. No, it absolutely can't be realm, Goog. Good job. It could be... This is actually difficult. It could be after. It could absolutely be after. It is not after. But we've learned some things, which is good. It could be asphalt, aside from the fact that that's a 7-letter word that contains an L. So, probably not asphalt, actually. In the meantime, By the way, how's the audio balance? Because as I'm looking at the levels, I'm like, that music might be a skosh too high, but also, I'm dumb about stuff, so nobody complains, but also nobody ever complains, so it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Anyway, onward. Let's see here. It could be... What the fuck could this be, actually? So that E is really nagging at me, because, so if the E isn't the fourth or fifth letter, there are very few words that begin AE. So we're pretty much locked into that, and one of those X's is a T. So, and it can't be alert because there's no L and no R. So, it can't be, actually it could be. It could totally be adept. Could it be adept? It's adept! Well done, Goog. Visualizing works. Hey, how about that? Alright, off goes that, in comes this. Let us time guess as to the where and whens we are. Hi there, signage. What does your signage say? Liam Barramar of Ozimaro. Well, my first thought was Ireland, but I don't think that's correct. So... Barramar. Seminaro? Could be Portugal. That makes you think Portuguese. Okay. Well, I mean, we could possibly, potentially, I could see Portugal. Seems conceivable. Don't really have much to go against it. So is this just like a beauty pageant? What are we doing here, friends? I think we might be doing a beachy beauty pageant type situation. Okay. So we've got a Portuguese beach pageant in, what does your sign say? In Praia Ol. Okay. Alright. Well. So we're at Praia Ol. There's text on the, I don't know what an overhand is in terms of a overhang. Okay, yeah. This, Praia Ol. So, It's a good question. How many languages does Sunny speak? My understanding is all of them, or at least all of the European ones. I'm sorry, does this lady have flowers on her parasol? Oh my god, that's not floral print. You just have flowers on your parasol. Holy shit, this lady wins. I'm sorry, let's go back in time and rejudge, because the odds are this chick didn't win. This lady wins this, 1940s Portuguese beach pageant. Okay. So we found the winner of this 1940s Portuguese beach pageant. The question is, where exactly off the coast of Portugal is this? Is this a famous building? I have no idea, but the good news is Portugal's tiny. So we can just kind of listen. Also, Lisbon's on the beach, so we can just kind of toss a dot in the general area of, say, here. We're actually right there, and it's 46. Seems reasonable. It was, in fact, in 1930, and they were lined up off a beach pageant in Rio de Janeiro, because just because someone speaks Portuguese doesn't mean they're in Portugal, because imperialism. Fine. We did bad. We did bad. Goddamn imperialism. Alright, so this is the Café de la Comédie. Is this sign in actual French? The sign might be in actual French. Also, that flag is actual French, but, this flag is actual European and British and American and Japanese and Italian and more French. Okay, so yeah, more French. Hold on, we got so much French. Oh, no tax over here. Either that or free taxes. Hey, listen, I'll take some... Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, so yeah, we got this thing, which kind of reminds me of a big old French train station we've seen before. We could be on the ass end of that big old French train station we've seen before. These signs are just barely fuzzy blurry enough to be not entirely legible, but hold on. Okay, so the trombonist here. First of all, tiny trombone. This is probably a different, higher-pitched trombone. Are you the trombone equivalent of a piccolo? Like, hold on, wait a second. Is this a trombone and this is the trombone of a piccolo? Peter, I think Sonny is saying S-I-L as in sister-in-law. Just a guess. There you go. But yeah, so we've discovered the trombone equivalent of a piccolo. So this trombiccolo player over here is, 1, aware of the camera, always great, 2, kind of bug-eyed about it, and 3, wearing enormous tinted glasses, which really accentuate his eyes. I like the vague people watching you can do from afar and time guesser. It's great. I want to know everything about this man, except not really. All right, so, oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna say we're on the ass end of a French train station, basically. As to the when of this, I don't know. It seems recent-y. Not like, maybe not literally this year, but I could honestly be any year in the last 30. And except for a couple, I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah. This is... Oh, we should probably notice the big old fancy obvious sign here that says exactly where we are. The Hotel du Louvre might be a good idea to notice that. You allow it to form the basis of our opinion as to where exactly we are. Not the worst idea I've ever heard. All right. Sonny may or may not have been asked to do a hand fasting ceremony for your brother and his fiancée when they got married in Dutch and Portuguese in the Netherlands and Brazil. That seems like a lot. I don't even know what a hand fasting ceremony is, but it's probably a lot. All right. Donde está la Louvreoteca? It's a good question. Didn't exactly, phrase it properly, but all right. So here's the Louvre. Presumably there's a hotel near there. Might even be like a big fancy one, like say, Place de Okay, so there's okay. There's a Hyatt. Is the Hotel du Louvre just a Hyatt now? It's entirely possible. There's L'École du Louvre. That's the weird spirit guy from Dragon Age Inquisition of the Louvre. So that's nice. Let's just say that we're over here. This seems reasonable. Seems entirely conceptually possible. We are, in fact, right there. Dans la Paris in 2000, I don't know. I feel like a contestant on The Price is Right. I'm just adjusting the year dial and hoping for a response. But, that one. I was wrong. I was very wrong. We were, however, very right about exactly where we were. So good job on that front, Goog, but also very wrong. So, next. Hi there, Plaza. Okay. First immediate thought is Italy. I should do more of these what's my first immediate thought just so I can be humorously wrong about stuff. I feel like being humorously wrong about stuff is a source of good content. Ugh, God. I felt myself saying the word and then I was like, oh no! Alright, apparently, a hand fasting is a pagan/historical ceremony, whereas the couple says their vows, their hands get bound together with one or more ribbons or ropes or such, and once their hands separate, there's a knot and the ribbons sing. Oh, that's neat. That's nice. Also seems like something you could very easily fuck up. I don't want to put thoughts in your head. The thought was probably already in your head. That seems complicated. That seems like a thing that might be perilous. But also, if you do it right, it seems neat. So, have fun with that. Good luck. Anyway, so yeah, first immediate thought is... I don't remember what I said the first time I said my first immediate thought. My first immediate thought is Italy. Yeah, we're gonna go with what's my first immediate thought, and then we're gonna do some investigatings. Yeah, it turns out not Italy. So, So this is Istavat, something Arbitet, something Vanir, Apotek. Seems like Russo-adjacent, not in the terrible wrestling booking sense. But more like in our language is derived from Russian, but we use an Arabic alphabet for reasons that probably have something to do with imperialism. I was going to say Poland, but Sunny thinks maybe Sweden. So this is the Aptiki. Got it. Oh, Vanir is Swedish for water. Okay. Well, that's... Okay, fine. That's reasonable. So this is a Swedish sewage shop? That doesn't sound right. All right. Big fancy Swedish fat. Oh, good God. I'm sorry. Hold on. So this right here. This doesn't appear to be... There might be a space here, but still, this is the Engelska Kraderie establishment. Got it. So this is the English crab shop. Got it. Understood. Everybody knows where the English crab shop is in jolly Sweden town. Your streetcar here is going to Suurnasi, Kalpalan, and Poughkeepsie. All right, so yeah, probably a fancy fountain in the town in Sweden town, name of which is escaping me. Stockholm, that's the one. As to the when, I don't know, man. Hold on, are you a fountain? Are you a conveniently placed Swedish fountain? Oh, those are Finnish sounding places. Could we be Finns? Might we finish this? Hold on. Let's zoom back out here. We might be a bit more Finnish than we thought. Yeah, listen, let's go to Helsinki. It'll be fine. Helsinki, Finland, home of milquetoast liberals who earned the Law and Order drop. It's pretty much all I know about Finland. Is one time they had a prime minister who, to my understanding, was a milquetoast liberal, but she was very pretty. So there's that. Anyway, when was this taken? 1988. 1988 doesn't sound like a horrible idea. Might be a little early, but I tend to overshoot. Like, I tend to say that things are in the 30s when they're actually in the aughts. So by that logic, I'll say that this is 1988, and it was actually the first ever photograph taken on Finnish soil in 1806. But yeah, we'll say this is 1988. It was, in fact... Tend to overshoot. You may have heard that. I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned that, but we did find it. So good job on that front. Thank you for the save, Sonny. Oh boy, hi there, friends. Boy, if I recognized flags, this would be real easy. It's not. All right. First immediate thought, Morocco. Second immediate thought. Let's zoom in on things. That's not helping. Well, I suppose it is sort of helping. Like, oh, is your sign back? No, your sign's... I don't think your sign's backwards. I think your sign's in a language I don't understand. Is it Finland or Sweden that's called the Land of 1,000 Lakes? I've never heard of the Land of 1,000 Lakes. I have heard of the Land of 10,000 Lakes, which is what the American state of Minnesota calls itself. So, I don't know if that's helpful. The only thing I'm going to glean from this is I think this says 2023. So we're probably, I agree with Sunflare Space that this is making me feel South Asian, maybe like Indonesia, and also 2023. So, I don't suppose you have like actual displays and signage on your building? No? Okay. It's a nice building. I like it. Not a huge fan of the obvious... Oh, I was going to say this was a garage door overhang. No, you're just unfurling something. Okay. Well, it's presently furled, so we can only glean so much from it. Your hat says Nike, which is good for you. Although the fact that it says Nike and doesn't have a swoosh is perhaps troubling. We got a fair bit of masking going on. Maybe 2022 instead of 2023? What does your shirt say? This is nothing really terribly helpful. Your hat is sponsored by an iced tea corporation. That's nice. Interesting. Alright, let's go to Indonesia, I guess, and say that it's 2022? That is entirely possible. Could be right. Can't necessarily, at the moment, prove that we're wrong. You will soon be able to prove that we're wrong. Just pretty much as soon as I do this, like we click there, and then we come over to here, and we do that, and we click here, and it turns out we were kind of right, actually. Not horrendously right. There's like 2,000 miles of wrong there, but the year's right. So that's something. Next and last round. First immediate thought, Colorado. Let's zoom in. So this is Helen Mirren's dresses. It's good to have a fallback career just in case the acting thing doesn't work out for her. Given Brothers shoes. Hi there, Moose. What's with the moose? Moose? Is this Canada? It could be Moose, Canada. Or it could be other parts of Canada. This is Cafe Marn. Doesn't really help. This Florsheim shoes. What about... Oh. Anniversary sale. I thought this was like a big old station. You erected 3D signage just for your... Man, people back in the day spent money on things and things were cheaper. And alright. So this is... this is the Woolworths 5, 10, and 15 cent store. Okay. Oh, you know what we can do is zoom in and get states on license plates. Arizona. Oh. Maybe Phoenix? Do we have any more zone-in plates here, boys? Yeah. That's another Arizona. All right, there's a third Arizona. You know, I'm starting to suspect that we might be somewhere in Arizona. All right. So honestly, this might be just the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. In 1950? This might be 1950 might be a little bit early. Did you have like expiration dates on your registrations or nothing? Like number stickers on your plate bumpers? No? All right, fine. Might have been a bit of a shot in the dark there. You might have... Could that possibly be a 49 up in the top right corner there? I suppose that could say 49, but... I don't necessarily feel great about that. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I think we're looking Phoenix, Arizona, 1950. It's entirely possible. Yeah, let's go with it. All right. So Phoenix is roughly here-ish, I think. Nope. It was a little bit too north. It's down here. All right. So we're just gonna plop ourselves somewhere in Phoenix, Arizona, where the girls are warm and I can be with my sweet babe and say, keep on a-rockin' me, baby. It was 1940, not 1950, but Okay. 66.99 is our score, and that one 26,541 is the yeah. If you get a couple lengthy dashing lines like that, shit goes bad. Shit goes bad real fast when you fuck up. All right. A Kansas City Royal, a Seattle Mariner, a Cleveland Guardian, a Washington National, a Detroit Tiger, and some dudes what pitched are what we need for today's Immaculate Grid. A Cleveland Guardian who pitched is Justin Masterson. A Seattle Mariner who pitched is... the obvious thing is to go with like cheap, shitty position players. Finland is the country of 1,000 lakes. Well, that means Minnesota is 10 times Lake Erie. So, good for you, Minnesota. One-upping all of those Finns. Take that, Finland. Okay. Seattle Mariner who pitched. I think Eddie Guardado played for the Mariners. I'm not 1,000% sure of that, so we're not going to say it, but I do think it was correct. Should probably actually, think of and name a guy. It might be helpful. We could revisit good old-fashioned stream concern Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer is a Seattle Mariner who pitched. That's a true, correct, and accurate statement. Kansas City Royal who pitched is... Wonderful question. I can think of some good ones. We can just take Kevin Appier. Not too many people will have pulled Kevin Appier, right? 3%. Good job. Kevin looks very surprised that they're taking his photo. Like, Kev, it's picture day. You knew this was coming. All right. A guy who played for the Guardians and Nationals is Bartolo Colon. A guy who played for the Guards and Tigers is Travis Fryman. I think Travis Fryman was a Guardian in addition to being a Tiger. Hey, I'm correct about a thing. Good job, Goog. Tiger who played for the Mariners is Octavio Dotel. I think he was a Mariner. I was wrong about that. Well, fuck. And again, we shall say, well, fuck. Well, fuck. Tiger who played for the Royals is Bobby Higginson, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Sounds conceivably inaccurate about things. Grumbles. National who played for the Mariners is Will Cordero. Yeah, we're kind of falling apart and crashing out here. So awesome. Let's get something wrong in every square that we've gotten wrong so far. So we've gotten one wrong here, and here. We might as well fail to name a National who played for the Royals, Mark Grudzelanek. I think Mark Grudzelanek fits the square, and he actually does. So, in a way, I failed to fail. Good job, Goog. All right, friends. So this is the problem with having a work whose daily schedule is determined at like 4 o'clock the afternoon before. Shit changes. Avec irrégularité. We will be back later tonight with Dragon Age: The Veilguard at, I don't know. We're shooting for 6:30, but if we can do earlier than that, we'll do earlier than that. Also, if anyone has any recommendations for good Twitch clock countdown things that actually work and are up to the moment customizable, that would be great. Let me know. Drop them in comments. Engage with the channel. Make number go up. Brain feel better. Everything's going to be fine. We'll be back later tonight. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.